Hey, what's going on, everybody? Here to do another review season on Supernatural, and it's going to be Supernatural season 4. Uh, there's a lot I can say about this season, but before we get into the pros and cons, let's get to the little bit of the story about this season. And the main plot of this season is Dean's epic return from hell and finding out how he got back, who brought him back, and trying to stop Lilith from breaking 66 seals before Lucifer is unleashed on Earth. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on between the brothers, and I'll go and get into that right now. So, you got Dean's awesome return and trying to find out what happened. How he came back. Was it a demon? Was it a ghost? What was it? Come to find out, it was a angel. So if you got tired of the demons and the monsters in the first 3 seasons, this is a really nice, refreshing change of pace. And they do introduce angels. Now the angels are awesome. This is when it's just a badass introduction with the Castiel character and the angel characters all together. And I love the angels. Um, they really are awesome, badass characters, and you really see that and feel that when they're on screen. And it also tries to find out about Dean's time in hell. Does he remember anything? And if he does, what happened? And you do find out there's a lot that happens. It wasn't just 4 months, it was 40 years because time is differently down there. He got tortured, and for 30 years, and in the last 10 years, he did some torture. Now, if you remember on season 3, you remember that every demon used to be a human soul. And after time, hell just turns your humanity into a demon. And so you kind of get the sense that that was starting maybe slowly happening to Dean. 10 years of torturing souls. And so a good part of this season, really the first half, is just the pain that Dean's going through and trying to get to the bottom of it. And then you got Sam. Well, come to find out, the 4 months that Dean was away, Sam has been working with Ruby. Now, it's not the same Ruby from season 3, and I do not like this Ruby. That is a con. Her name is, I believe, Genevieve. It's actually Jared Padalecki's wife. Um, the season 3 Ruby was a lot better. I'm not saying Katie Cassidy is the best actor ever, but she is Oscar worthy compared to the season 4 Ruby. But come to find out, they've been working together. They've actually been sleeping together. And Ruby has been training Sam to use his psychic powers and also been giving Sam demon blood. And of course, it is his choice to do this. Uh, so that's really what's going on with the brothers. Dean he's just tortured. I mean, his mind and his soul are just a wreck after what happened in hell. And then you got Sam going through basically his addiction with demon blood. And Sam's excuse is, well, I'm doing it to stop Lilith. I'm doing it to stop the apocalypse. And I believe that is true. But deep down, he really likes the feeling that he gets when he drinks demon blood. He's powerful. Um, and he really likes that. And and that's pretty much the story of what goes on in this season with the brothers and really the idea of stopping Lilith from breaking 66 seals. Now let's go ahead and start into the pros, and there's a lot. I think the first big pro has to be the new entry of Angels. I believe that was it really hit you in the face. You was not expecting it at all, and it just came out of nowhere, and it was really nice. And you know, they brought something different, and they're really intimidating. They really are. I mean, Cass has a lot of good lines in this. Castiel is obviously a fan favorite. He's still in the damn series. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the later season cast, but the first 3 seasons of the Castiel era are by far the best cast. And They introduced an angel named Uriel. They introduced an angel named Anna. They introduced an angel named Zachariah. So you do see more angels than just Castiel, and they're all really good. They introduce a new demon named Alistair. If you find out, Alistair is the one that tortured Dean in hell, and also tortured John in hell when John was there. And Alistair's a badass. He's one of my favorite demons. He's one of my favorite characters of the entire series. And it's nice. The Reaper from season 2, she's on this season. They introduced the psychic Pamela. So they do introduce some new characters. You see Bobby, of course, is on this season. I love, there's a lot of really good scenes in this season, especially the scenes with Cass and Dean. I think those were some really good moments when them two are together on screen. And I love, there's some really good lines in this one too, especially with coming out of Cass. It's where he's telling Dean that he needs to stop Sam. He's walking down a dangerous road and they don't know where it leads. And he's just like, so stop it or we will. That's the kind of stuff that you don't see from Cass anymore. Actually, you don't really see it just in this season. This is the only season you see that stuff in. Then you got a really good moment with Uriel and Sam when Uriel is telling him, we told you not to use your powers anymore, and you did it. And he's like, the only reason why you're still alive, Sam Winchester, is because you've been proven useful. And as soon as that becomes, not the truth, the second you become more trouble than you're worth, I'll turn you to dust. And I mean, it's just those kind of moments that really, the angels seem more intimidating than the demons. I mean, they really do. They're definitely a lot more powerful. And they also, this also is the season where you get a background. The episode's called In the Beginning. So they go back, Cass sends Dean back in time, and you see young Mary, you see young John, you see Mary's family. Come to find out, Mary and her family were hunters the entire time. And this is really where you find out why all this happened to Sam and Dean, why it happened to the Winchester family. And it's because Mary made a deal with the Yellow-Eyed Demon, and 10 years later, the Yellow-Eyed Demon would come for her children, and it was Sam. So you really find out that this was all Mary's fault. Mary started all this. And I get it was to, save John's life, but, so it was Mary's fault. They introduced the prophet Chuck. Now, this was a nice little twist. It was kind of, come to find out, there was this author out there, Jeremy Carver. Carver Edlin, I'm sorry. And his real name is Chuck. But he actually, from the start, from the pilot up until now, he's been writing books about Sam and Dean's life. So every episode that you've seen in the series, actually, Chuck turned into a book. And Sam and Dean, they were just investigating this case, and come to find out, they just walked upon the books. And then you find out that, well, the reason why is because Chuck is a prophet. So he's been seeing everything ever since the pilot began. So he's just been getting flashes. So Chuck's kind of a main character in this season and in the 5th one. He plays a major part. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but you do see him in the later seasons. So that's pretty. I mean, I could go all day about this season, guys. But there is some cons. There is some cons, in my opinion. And there's no Ellen and Joe, which I know you guys are probably tired of me mentioning that. There's no Rufus on this season. There are, like I mentioned, Ruby. Ruby is a little annoying on this season. She's not as, I guess, kind of upfront like she was on season 3. The Katie Cassidy version of Ruby was had a little bit more energy. a little bit more of a smart ass. This Ruby's a little bit more laid back, but she cannot act. They introduced Anna. She's an angel. I don't think she's the best actress either. She's okay. She does have some decent moments, but I don't think she's that good of an actress either. And as much as I was talking about the premise of the season, stopping Lilith, and you got Reapers, and you got angels, and all this stuff going on, there's a lot of filler. And I feel like it's bad filler. I'm not saying all of them are bad, but there is some not so good episodes in this season, at least in my opinion. I feel like having filler episodes in the first three seasons kind of worked because it's kind of a slow pace. They're kind of taking baby steps. The first three seasons are really just filler episodes all together. But when you get to something this big with the apocalypse and angels, there doesn't need to be a lot of filler. And the episodes that are not about the angels or about what's going on in the season, it's a little boring, and it can kind of take you out of the season a little bit. There are some fun episodes, but I just think there's a little bit too much filler, and it's not very good filler. Other than that, there's not much. I think that's about all the cons, guys. This is more good than bad. I feel like this is when the show really took a huge step, and I believe this is the season that really started the popularity of what Supernatural is today. And it's all because of Supernatural season 4, with the awesome badass introduction of Angels and Castiel, to Dean climbing out of his grave, to the ending with Lucifer coming out of his cage. I mean, there is all kinds of stuff, really good moments in this, and I really enjoyed this season, guys. Go out and get this season. You can watch it on Netflix, of course. As far as being better, I'm not really sure. I have this season probably in the middle of the entire series. Um, I do really like this season. I don't know if I might have it above season 1, but still, it's still a really good season, guys. So check this out. What did you guys think about Supernatural season 4? Tell me in the comment section. Did you enjoy the Angels? Did you enjoy Castiel? Did you thought it was really about time they really brought something new to the table, or did you kind of like the old school first three seasons feel? Um, Tell me in the comment section what you guys thought about Supernatural season 4 and what you thought about the video, and please subscribe.